Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of an artist review. If you know my channel, basically what I do is that I try things that I like or that I want to explore, and then I go on here and make a very honest review whether I liked it or not, and that's it. You know, I'm tired of unboxing videos where nobody really tells me how things hold over time or how they perform. So that's why we're here. Thank you to those who follow, and I'm sorry I have not been posting. It's just been a very busy time the last couple of months, but I'm here to review something that I have been using since 2008, and I cannot believe I've never talked about this. But at the same time, I just got a new pair, so that's the perfect excuse. So today we're going to be reviewing Vibram's 5 Fingers, specifically this model, which is the KSO EVOs. Is one of the latest models. So a little bit background, right? Vibram, you may have seen the logo in many different shoes, right? So Vibram makes this great compound, this great rubber that it's very durable. It has a lot of grip, and it's used everywhere from, you know, trail running shoes, work boots and footwear, military footwear, cold and Arctic exploration footwear, right? Rock climbing, you name it. They have very wide variety of applications. You know, recently a lot of trail shoes have moved to that since they came with the light base, which is a very light, durable sole that has a lot of grip. So you're probably gonna see this in a lot of shoes, right? However, Vibram doesn't make shoes; they make the sole. This is the one product they make, right? They also have the furoshiki. They have like another line, but if I'm not mistaken, this is what they started to make when they started doing shoes and not just sole. So the Vibram 5 Fingers, I'm sure you've seen them around. You have seen people with these, you know, crazy looking toe shoes, as they call them. They've been around forever. As I mentioned before, my first pair was probably 2008, maybe 2007, I don't even know. And I started running in them and I became immediately faster. Not because it's like a magic trick, but it's just because it allows you to work muscles that you have never worked before, because we have been using shoes for most of our lives, right? So using shoes reduces the amount of muscles that you use. And the other thing too is that, you know, we were not meant to heel strike, to do this when we run. So when you start going barefoot, you realize that very, very quickly. No one has to teach you, you will see. So that being said, my experience with Vibram 5 Fingers, it's really goes back for a long time. I've run more than half a marathon on the road on these shoes. I've worn these shoes for sky running, which is mountain running at very high altitudes. I finished a couple of sky marathons in something similar to this. So one of my favorite pieces of gear that anybody should have at least one pair, not, you know, maybe 5 like I do. So anyway, the concept is going to be the same for all of them. There's slight differences in the way they interact with your with the top of your foot. I mean the laces. Some of them may have straps, some of them have speed lacing system, like this one's. It's a speed lacing system, and it has a little Velcro spot so you can put their whatever slack and it's not fumbling around. They also, some of the things that will differ from model to model is the sole. They may have a different pattern, have a little bit more plastic, more rubber, but the concept is the same. Just have something that protects your foot while allowing you to have a very natural feel. Now, this has become my favorite, right? I'm doing this on the road. I've been to 2 different countries and 4 different states in the US with this as my primary footwear. And I'm just in love with this new version of the KSO. KSO stands for Keep Stuff Out. And the reason I really love this is just because how light it is, right? All your Vibram 5 Fingers are gonna have this very nice, you know, individual toe feeling, but this is just amazing, right? The ground feel that you have with this pair, or with this model, is just extraordinary, and it's just enough protection to not be crazy uncomfortable to go with, you know, having a lot of different things going through your foot, like for example rocks, branches, and so on. I was running in the trails in California. I was running in the forests in New Jersey. I was running in the woods in Mexico, and it was just fantastic. It was such a great feel. Now, I already mentioned the sole. It keeps some really classic features, like for example, this ribs here in the midfoot. It's also here on the toe, also here on the heel, right? I think this is classic from their very first iteration of the shoe. So I really like that. I mean, as you can see, the orientation is a little bit like if you're going uphill, you catch on this, and if you're going downhill, you catch on this, right? The orientation works very well in that regards. But regardless of the function, I just love this classic wink at the original KSOs. Also, you see it just has enough coverage in the top of the toe so that if you bump your toe, it won't go straight into your nail, which is very appreciated, right? And then a couple of other things that I really noticed that I really like is the original models used to have a strap, just a Velcro strap, or a strap also in the back, depending on the model. And I always felt that it was difficult for me to find the right fit in terms of how tight I wanted that when I was running versus when I was just, let's say, lounging or just relaxing. However, I mean, with this lacing system, I really love it for a number of reasons. One, I feel this really locked in, right? But it's not just the laces, but also the tongue has a very nice cushioning, so I can go really tight without feeling too much pressure on my forefoot. Everything in the shoe, it feels like has a little bit of a give, right? So it really moves with you. But the cool thing too is that you can notice there's like one piece leather goes here all around, then it connects here, right? And it connects to the bottom of the shoe as well. And then we also have some here. So I feel that this gives very nice structure for the shoe to stay in place, even if you're running at very fast paces. So I really, really liked all those features in terms of making this upper and all the way to the bottom of a little bit of a, let's say, thicker material, more structure, more support, but also extremely soft. We can also see some different materials that are vulcanized into the mesh upper. These also don't give as much as a mesh, so I think that this also allows to have that nice locked-in feeling. At least I like that, especially when I'm on the trails. So really, really good stuff here. Also, another quick difference is that the Vibram logo is, as you can see, vulcanized on that plastic instead of embroidered in the upper. Why do I bring this up? Because the 2 or 3 pairs of KSOs that I had, the original version, not the EVOs, that would rub on my toe when I was running, so I would have to get a pair of scissors or a little blade and just take all that thread out. So probably that was just an issue for maybe just a couple of people, but I really like that now this is just stamped or vulcanized straight into the upper instead of having that embroidery. So this is by far my favorite pair of Vibrams. And just, I strongly recommend everybody to get a pair, right? No matter what people tell you, it's always better to be barefoot than having this thick sole. And you may have seen me already, review some shoes that have these mega soles. And you know what? That it all depends on the application. It depends on what you're doing. I'd like to try stuff, but I recently injured my back. And one of the things that have been helping me a lot is using zero drop minimalist shoes. And immediately the back pain goes away because I go into this very natural way of walking and running. That is what we were meant to do. That's how our bodies biomechanically are made for barefoot walking, running, jumping. However, we've used shoes for too long. So if you get a pair, just remember to have a little bit of a transition, right? Start with maybe an hour a day, a couple of hours a day until you can start to see your tolerance. If you decide to be brave and hey, this is going to be the day that I go out with my Vibrams for the whole day, maybe bring a pair of regular sneakers on your backpack and say your feet get tired. It's not that these things are hurtful or anything like that. It's just that you've been using shoes for too long and your body has to adjust back to what your body was made to do, right? So just remember that when if it's the first time you're getting a pair, just remember that. If you already have a pair, this will give you a great ground feel, and I highly recommend that you get these ones. So that's my honest review of the Vibram 5 fingers, KSO EVOs, and all the Vibram 5 fingers. A little bit of information. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for those that keep subscribing. I hope to have more content for you guys soon, and I'll see you in the next one.